with Kwekwanan, only on CTV. The Frontline with Kwekwanan, only on CTV. The Frontline with Kwekwanan, only on CTV. The Frontline with Kwekwanan, only on CTV.
On this weekend's edition of Frontline, we take yet another critical step in assessing the political trajectory of the new patriotic party's flag bearer, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. What are his real chances heading into 2028 general elections? What does he bring to the table at this critical moment in Ghana's democratic journey? Tonight, we go deeper beyond the celebration of his election into the flag bearership slot to examine the strength, the challenges, the expectations, and the political dynamics that would shape his path to 2028. I am Kweku Annan, and of course, this is your Global Public Square GPS, of course, live on dozens of stations tonight with the feed. We start with our very own. The feed is being lifted up in Sunyani 88.1 FM, and it's also been lifted up in Western Region on Tadi 99.1 FM. In London, the feed is on GOB. They are broadcasting on modernghana.com and TuneIn. Still on GOB. They are flipping it on www.gobtv.tv plus Apple Music. The information super dial tonight is being lifted on two links, my CTV-GH and the Frontline Ghana, both respectively. My CTV-GH and the Frontline Ghana, the Frontline Ghana, respectively. Both links are active. So you would have to call a friend, call a brother, call a sister. We sit here together, we think, and of course we have to make sense of it all. Tonight's show, we are all over Ghana. And of course, you know, as usual, your weekend Frontline piped all through regional capitals. We begin from Upper East, West. Northern region is on the feed. All the way to Ashanti region capital, Kumasi. Eastern region, Brong-Ahafo. The nation's capital, Accra. And then Volta region, Central region, and Western region, plus the 6 regional capitals. The feed is all over there. Folks, we welcome all our viewers here in Ghana and around the world. This is the nation's biggest investigative magazine show. Of course, your GPS Global Public Square. We are scattered all over. This is where you would have to, you know, keep your television dial or keep yourself seated comfortably, because this is the show you must watch, and because you're what you view and what you listen to. Tonight, there's a very good reason why this platform, you know, decide to stay a while longer with this, you know, election of former vice president and now the newly elected flag bearer of the NPP. There's a very good reason. Sure. You know, there is something that is very, very common with this platform, particularly Kweku, my style of journalism. You see, the media in Ghana has done, and I would always criticize the media, for which, Kweku, I'm an integral part of the media, and the things the media will do, and oftentimes doesn't augur well, and we need to criticize them, whether we like it or not. I'm one person, you know, if you watch our way of doing things, we believe in, you know, we have to take our time, work on the stories. Guys, can I have the link? Can you call Kins and let him bring the link? Right. Guys, can you hear me? Yeah. Good. So what I would normally do is, I don't often want to rush the story and push the story away. Yeah. We stay a while longer with the story, build it up, let the listeners, the viewers understand the nicety, okay, and all there is to what they need to know. But one thing that is very synonymous with the Ghanaian media is always that they have this, what's the word, you know, they have the penchant, you know, the manasingly, yeah, to always back the story. They bark like their dog is barking, okay? They will make the noise about the story, and then they yearn for another story. They yearn for almost every time. They will back stories. We need this, we need it. And then when the story hits, they push the story there, then they go for another one. They push the story out there, they go for another one. Now, what the disservice they are doing to the people of this nation is this. They will not take their time, a bit of time, to walk the listener and the viewer into the story and let you have the understanding of why there was even that story, the reason for the story. But the media is more comfortable in the sense that, oh, it's a story, so let's push it. They push the story, and that's the end of it. And they will talk no more about that issue. By the time they go, they get another story. There is another developing angle of that story, so it is still a developing story. And they will not have time to waste a bit to say, let's stay a while longer with this story, grasp and interrogate. Yeah. That is the danger, the disservice the media is doing to this nation. So all of us as citizens, institutions, whatnot, we are not getting the best of it. The MPP have gone for elections, elected a flag bearer. The flag bearer at this time is on the, is on the bench, on the trotting. He is trying to move to catch a glimpse of a glory in 2028. The questions that we need to ask, the probe, the interrogations, the assessment of the candidates, what the candidate is made of. I can sit here and I can use, if a first quarter of this year, and do assessment of the candidates of MPP, and I still will not will be done. I will do all those assessments and still will not be done. Continuous. Why? Because we want to get the best out of that candidate. Is it all about the fact that, oh, he's a candidate, he's been elected into what? Into flag bearership position or slot, he's gone for it, and so that's all about it? Then they push him to Ghanaians. They push him to Ghanaians, and then, oh, the media again will not do any they will not scrutinize, they will not assess, open, the inner out of the candidate, who the personified, what he's made of. The media's job is, oh, push the guy to Ghana, let Ghanaians vote for him or vote for her. That's all there is to it. And these are some of the very fundamental mistakes that has what? Destroyed the moral fiber, the constitutional fiber. Our policy driven of this country in many aspects, depending which government is in power. Do you think the media took our time to assess our presidents the way we have to assess them? Sometimes at the back of their lives, what they do, what they've done, and all of that. And then get the inner out of them to know whether this person indeed can befit this position. Or the media also joins, that bandwagon and the euphoria of the political elements or the political institutions. We also follow them. Oh, as long as NDC wants this candidate to lead them, as long as the CPP want this candidate to lead them, the media in Ghana will not sit down to do a scrutiny about that individual, who he is. As long as the party has accepted that person and they push for, the media is quiet. Then the day of popular vote, that person goes to face Ghanaians. And when the person is ruling the country and we are not getting the best out of the person, that's where the media comes back again to sit to do some nonsense analysis that, oh, and you see, he's this, he's that, he's this, he's that. Meanwhile, we had the best opportunity to sit, to scrutinize the person. The very characteristic, what is characterized of this individual, who he is, even sometimes to go into his private life. Go into what that person has achieved for himself. In other words, what is it that the potential, side of the person to be able to handle the whole country, notwithstanding his own small businesses. These are some of the reasons. Some of us, we don't go with your media. We do our own thing. We have to take our time to analyze, scrutinize who the individual is. Like about 2 weeks ago, we took our time to assess the second runner-up, and that is Kennedy Japan. And if you recall, we, all that we saw about his campaign, all there is to Kennedy Japan's campaign was about what? Prophecy galore, prophecy here, prophecy there. And it is not the first time I'm saying this. People who prosecuted Kennedy Japan's campaign for him were not much that I saw to be that of his campaign people. It was all about prophets. And that's a sharp dichotomy of Kennedy Japan yesterday and Kennedy Japan today. Yeah. Trust me. You see, this was a man who everybody know his equanimity for disliking these self-styled crooks. And again, he has said it before, that these self-styled, self-acclaimed, self-imposed, notorious crooks are part of the destruction, the moral disaster, the moral destruction and the cataclysm of this nation. These self-styled prophets are indeed part of the destruction of this nation. He has said it before. He has said that before. I'll show that to you tonight. So, again, to discover that today he's going for glory. And that same individual said this yesterday. And today, these self-styled masqueraders are, have become an integral part of his campaign. What do you think? And unfortunately, they misled him. They've, it's so bad. You see? Who did that analysis? That whether that was the right way to go. So we are done with him. Now, you would agree with me that in the case of Bawumia also in his vice presidency position gave a lot of promises to Ghanaians, because at that time he was what? He was the flag bearer of the party, at the same time the vice president. He was going for the position. So he believes that he's in the right position to get the job done. Forgetting, or of course, the Ghanaian thinks that as long as he's in that position, it was going to be an easy, cool job for Bawumia. And of course, by the virtue of he being a vice president, he was going to get the job done easy for us. But how many of us later heard that, many policies Bawumia brought or helped the NPP in the 8-year tenure of Bawumia and that of Akufo-Addo all turned out to be very terrible policies. Some of them, they themselves don't even understand it. Those policies were not feasible policies. Therefore, its implementation is like what? It has nothing good to write home about. So such a person today, he comes back to say, I'm going to lead your nation to glory. Question you'll be asking is, what kind of policy that he's going to bring this time? What he showcased for all of us to hear a year ago, sort of. Now you ask, he was in power for 8 years. He contested. He gave you some policies that were not feasible, some policies that you cannot even make a sense out of it. For example, to say that what? He prefers the national identification card 10 times much more than what? Hundreds of what? Footbridges. Like seriously? Like seriously? Really? What is the meaning of that? He prefers the national identification cards. How many of it than that of a number of footbridges? So we have to interrogate what will be his policy framework today, and what was his policy framework yesterday, and how feasible it is that all of the above can be implemented easily. He's an economist though. So I don't rush stories. Let the story be like, oh, it's a 10-year story. We have time, we have what it takes to go into it, to analyze, bring the best out of. And of course, in doing so, we are not to allow anybody who wants to take Ghana's first leadership for a ride. If the media has been responsible enough to scrutinize the people, so they will not take your seat, the executive seat, for a ride, by way of giving them a checklist. What do you have for the people of this nation? What can you do? Put your policy, framework, put it down, let's scrutinize it. 1, 2, 3. These are all not feasible. But the media is not ready to do that. So they come, they speak all their nonsense, and then they push them through. Then they go and lie to the masses, and there they go. So when they are in power and they start committing the errors, that's where the media then gets scared and get a bit pushed up and say, let's go and scrutinize them and see if we can get the best out of them. When you've given the position to him already, and it has to take you another considerable period of years before you can kick him out, or otherwise to confirm his mandate. Really, that is a very senseless aspect of the media in Ghana. Well, we don't fall, we don't go on that direction. We're a separate entity altogether. Folks, tonight, there's a reason why I've stayed a while longer here. Tonight, we are going to go on another, heavy scrutiny of this very newly elected flag bearer of the NPP. After the NDC, we don't even know who is coming. But I know the NDC would definitely elect their flag bearer. We would do that, check and figure out who is going to lead them. And finally, who would be leading the whole country, Ghana, in 2028. The build-up starts. It's a for sure situation that if we get to do it and do it right, we are able to separate the wheat from the chaff, and get the best and help that person to go for glory. Tonight, we are going to do that. Our second, if you like, interrogation of the newly elected flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia, is on the bill. Still on the bill tonight. The governments of the National Democratic Congress, in a terrible feud with who? The Ghanaian cocoa farmers. For why? I mean, what is it? Why? What is wrong with these people of color here? What is wrong with you people? Under the 4th Republican Constitution, NDC MPP have fought cocoa farmers for God knows how many. MPP has fought the cocoa farmers, NDC fought, and they are back and they are still fighting with cocoa farmers. On what? On the scale of what? Pricing. Cocoa price has gone down, wherever, blah, 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 and all of that. Like, seriously? Tomorrow, I've heard that you people want to celebrate something called what? Valentine. He said what? A day of love and something like that. And some red calico kind of dresses be and stuff. And predominantly what is going to help you celebrate this feast is that of what? A bar of chocolate. The question remains, how much? If in Togo, if in Nigeria, or in South Africa, or in Zimbabwe, a bar of chocolate will cost even 20 cedis per bar, it makes sense to me. But a nation like Ghana, you are what? you are the second exporter of what? Chocolate, or if you like, not chocolate, cocoa to the global world. Second exporter of what? Cocoa. And you cannot afford to sell a bar of chocolate for like what? 1 cedi or even 5 cedis. A bar of chocolate costs how much? Me, I don't know. Why? Your farmers, your cocoa farmers are in a loggerheads with the government. And this is not just one of it that is just personal. It's a continuous thing, depending which government is in power. Under the Fourth Republican Constitution, this is the struggle we've been struggling, the cocoa farmers. But then again, the man who brought cocoa to Ghana, what should this man also say? Or what struggle should this man have with the cocoa farmers? Somebody in his wisdom will struggle to bring you cocoa somewhere. Take it, let's plant it. From where? Fernando Po, which of course now has become part of Guinea-Bissau, is it not? And said, let's plant this and eat it. God in his wisdom. How many years? Since 1879. What? 1879. We started planting cocoa, what? Beans or cocoa seed. So if you do your arithmetics, if you strike it, it's been how many years Ghana started planting cocoa here? 147 years. I repeat, do it yourself. 147 years, more than a century. The cocoa beans we started planting 79, if I'm right, yes. So 2026 minus 1879. How many years? Check. And if you turn this way to the global south, they started what? Importing cocoa from Ghana how many years down the line? And check how the global south, how the Chinese are planting what? Cocoa, and how they harvest it. The plantation of cocoa and the harvesting, and the creativity and the innovation of cocoa in the global south, in China. And you sit here, you this politician of NPP, a politician of NDC, and your technocrats sitting at where? Cocoa board. All that you know is to look at the faces of these our poor farmers and you speak nonsense to them. Indeed. Forget about however nonsense you want to speak to them, but try give, put what's the word I want? Give them a facelift. Give them a facelift by way of what? 147 years by now. We should be able to what? Give these farmers all the necessary incentives, particularly how do we go on the technological aspect of planting what? Cocoa and harvesting like the Chinese are doing. Go to our farmlands. They use cutlass. Some are cutting their hands and whatnot. And how many cocoa farmers' sons and daughters have scholarship? All the scholarships these your politicians, MPP, NDC have sold to their sons and daughters and their girlfriends and their cronies in the party. And the cocoa farmer is still hanging in the wilderness, of course, lifting his eyes to catch a glimpse and wondering where the next meal is coming from. Tonight, we have some response for you, those politicians trying to what? Squeeze the neck of these cocoa farmers. Plus, the Frontline build-up in our upcoming biggest exposé coming in the ministry of Christ, we title The Workers of Iniquity, following the avalanche of what? Prophecies that, of course, dropped in the just ended MPP, delegates conference or delegates, whatever you call it. Yeah. You will hear things. The exposé is coming, but all of this is to help you. Folks, let's get started. Kasa bebre bi nsa na beba no ye kyerɛkyerɛ nsɛm mu anadwi ye wo bere sɛ ye no di nkomo wo kwan ben so kwan bi so sɛ MPP foto abana wie nya afi na omoto wie na anu aba o me wie ni nte no ano ne ye twam kɔ ye ntwam nkɔ ye wo bere a ye pɛsi stay ne ye hwɛdia Bawumia de ba America 2 or deba ninkomo ni eba bedie. The Bawumia of nano no any Bawumia of today. Eye nioma mienu. Ye makwan mo bi amfa ye sun kwan bedane a chinchine basabasa biasa o enti ne ye wo bra ye scrutinize wo mu na mo be kaya 2 weeks ago the second round up no eye ora Kennedy ye de ne dia ma no de bi ono ye de ni gina ye pa no eye se obi a ye nim se prophet foi wo mu nsini fa ha e wo nenim o e ba ne sen e no ora Kennedy tumi makwan e men the prophets foi e de nakọ e kan say ensu no ano ho a o makwa ni de o ye yes had need 2 weeks ene wo Bawumia so this week next week ye de to aso e wo baby ni de nesi ho afi bi se Bawumia de en wo de ba e wo no ane party ni mo e biom de na o de ba 2028 na no of Bawumia no on my policy frameworks bebre ye bi se no e ya de a e enidaso bi a e feasible ade word me petri word bi e ade bi e beka say oh I know ne kre ye betimi implement ana say politicians yi ba enam kasa de omunim ka no mutimi chinchim Ghana for adwene because number of Ghanaians ya dream ha to mo ka 1 2 bi de to anom o ma so no mo ko eno na make say media no ediomen abro the Ghanaian media no ediomen abro media no o men say yes say nara me say emu kese efri media for no being honest are who ye because wo ni adaje de bia media for no from stories no wo mo per story a eba ochinia no ode to ho wi a ne waja hoko oni bre say oni wo listener ni view and better say no wo ye mpensem mo ya hwa ade no te say MPP die mu assess candidate ni ye say sa candidate wey ye tumi peja o man tumi de man wo kwan we so ana se ni nani ye hwengum ni amfa ne ko gina simpie so ne ento abama no because now the biggest mistake rana ye ne say NDC babe we 4 years yentina simbisa say 4 years no e kwan be so ne be ma o man aye an accountability to the people of this country of their still worship say they need the mandate second mandate or otherwise say yempamom Ghana ni adaji o eno an ye di euphoria na chi hey sam oh eye yare o me kam ntiase eye yare a ewo bibini ni trim so no etu say yen de ne say de bia na ye piama ne kwa afi ade ne kɔ no ade ne di enya no na eye ye say yesusu say ye dwen say ye huni say yen san kɔ back biom ne yen konkɔhwe say kofa by ne den a meanwhile kofa by no na da yenim ne what the time to do that assessment ya nye afi ade ne di ekɔ musuom no oho ene aya adwen sɛ mom yen kɔhwe senti a eba ne sa bibini ye yarefo ankasa wo yare adwen mu yare all the time and adwi ye gina Bawumia so for the second time assessment of Bawumia carrying the NPP on his shoulders all the way to 2028 if of course he's going to go for glory ye behwem policies are nano no a vice president na no contest no dey buy ni ahwe policies so a o dey bad na policy be na o dey be e be different from nano ni na ye behwe sa policies ni bi nano o dey buy ni ahwe say we na policy be e betimi ayi dwuma o manum na keka mom keka bi kwa well ye dey ni siwa cocoa farmers there's a serious, feud between the government of the National Democratic Congress and then cocoa farmers. And then America says, so Chamuzi Mudi Valentine. The whole world, Adia Valentine Mudia, Mudia Shansu, DNA day, you see chocolate. As you see, a Ghana here, chocolate bar cost the same. But you want him chocolate bar, no, the open so my employees owe me producer sin feature ho baby na ko bi zabra na fa WhatsApp message bra me that was 0202973461 pese me hu a bar of chocolate pa chowai bomodin a wodi si abonten ho a bar of chocolate yesan na oman a ewiase na nim se mo na mo ye the second runner on them the export of cocoa to the whole world. Yedi cocoa ye nioma bebre including the byproducts of cocoa and nioma yedi ye extractions no bita na hwe cocoa so ba wo man mu ha 1879 ena cocoa ye den e ba wo man mu ha se na we bisa ho se ever since a cocoa ne ba no mo de abom ho bra sen nti yen the second exporter na e de coin hwe bibia di mo akutino gold cocoa these two commodities we bra ye de baby de Ghana edro no sa small country we 35 million people as the yentumi enhwe ye ho ne ye mo bra papa bia no enyomo nyankopon dia mayen a ewiase na yesen the whole world yesen amaya kese the superpowers the world powers enemy ade the larger economics enemy ade o bebre bashwe o onyankopon nyansem odi kro kitikiti we oman kitikiti we sorry or the oman kitikiti we e hye wiase na mfimfin we are in the epicenter of the world. This country is in the epicenter. We are in the middle of the global world. Hwade onyankopon de ama yen ye toso san mienu eba gold mo eba cocoa mo say am say gold is ya take us 6 or 7 enemy ade now they find simple 6 mpo echen still echen one anchi wo. What it means is that onyankopon sakese bi do men so nanso o men bra wontimi monko nanim nara enye o man no enye ekua Ghana o eye nipa bonefo a asasa bonsamfo edie benya abeifo enkabreche hofo adamonifo enkyerebe nim pemirefo amugu memu mese dian enkyerebe nim pemire efo mugu ha wo na egu NDC ni MPP no mama o men sia pene emo no man no yakopon aye ni die wie deda enkyerebe nim pemire amugu menim na mu ye adwuma tie o men anapa wia ne anadwo mu ye nipa bonefo ankasa onyankopon woni ja ojatane bi obeto daache a eso dugu men so first answer wakobe bia mu nyi nipa papa ti ono now be say cocoa since 1879 and cocoa ye planted no owura no ono kofa cocoa no ba ye mbisa se ono cocoa no kofa ba no enti ono ye onkana semzen wono oko brain mojani o and 1 minute cocoa no dia ba se mamina tumyem no de beto wo se enini o monkona monkodua hwede mo ye cocoa farms no between NDC and MPP hwede mo de Ghana ko enye mo ferie enye musuro ene hu bi anim mu o se oman na nyankopon boman no eduaba odemaye se emma Ghana benya recognition and the global stage no eye bibiti se cocoa farms no na mutweguo no mutwegu okwan ben so ha enne mo the illegal miners ewura all the cocoa farms ni etwani na ego na mfam ho ayem hihye ni mu ya so na wo hwe se the global south wo mo start so mo twi cocoa free Ghana de kono bi se se emfie dodo sene na kohwe ade o mo ye enne wo hwe the way the Chinese esi eden e plant cocoa how the Chinese esi harvest cocoa kwakumi shebu baby ada so it is said the same way Ghana and Malaysia Ghana and Malaysia eye nuanom fa hodie ye gibomu all right yenya hai pe ene ebetimi akase shortly after independence spirits of gloom despondency and moral decadence have become a commonplace. That's the narrative for Ghana. I don't know of Malaysia, but at least the Malaysian narrative is about the fact to say yes and the Malaysia for etimia kwadare ewo debemu ewo abe a ombe harvest abe no na omudi bia to say ethanol and all sorts of things na moe munya bre mu twa cocoa fuo no eguo ejawo de yo cocoa ni bedroom memo 1879 and ye say ye cocoa pharmacy hwe bra cocoa farmers abreye Ghana mbinfo mutrimu odin yo omutiti cocoa board wo abobo suit akese tie na nasefo e na omutu sikadie omedi sikadie die ai rade mudi ye den mutu toka asa dodo sen na moto musi dan ya dodo sen na musie eden ye twa Ghana ni eche musi sen na moda wom at the suffering of your cocoa farmers eye munya umma anomrase emu oya dodo emu oya osu mekwenim but emu oya pa emu ya mekonim e cocoa pharmacy bom nsase ya no mu su oh sometimes we tie cocoa farm bi pa na sem ka oh na obehwe cocoa farm bi na ne baba ku bi pe o akole ya ben ohia scholarship pe makole tumi wuremu a akole no de yedie bebre busuan ema so politicians yenya wo moada yenya wo moa o wo mekwa koton scholarship na mo ho na no bibia anya hwimpu nche cocoa pharmacy yen hwe the global south for ye nyoma still our cocoa farmers kutadan kotokuro crane ni wetwa nenza kotokuro eno mo pai cocoa no global south once where omuhu cocoa beans enim how many years near kobisa om and they share the innovative skills the craftsmanship how we dey read the cocoa industry e wo global south enya onwanwa ozu die ye aboniyefo ewurukafo adadafo boni ahyemoma musunsum eni mu nipadua ne mu kra nyare ye boni mu de boni no boni sorry boni mu kotrata mu ministry ho etete mu party MPP ni NDC no boni ahyemoma mu ye demons. You are demonic people. Any bay your home, Ashamu Mase, Timuni feeling. When is that bay for Zanomate? Woman feeling, oh, Debbie. Dana Gan on bidding for it here. Nomti cocoa board ho, Kikam Quasiasem. Womanti cocoa board ho, Kikam Quasiasem, Telegana near cocoa farmers. NDC MPP, 33 years and still counting. Tonight, it will be here by Kachiremo. Still on the bill. The Frontline Exposé is coming. Exposé na airbano. Efa asofo no. Asofo no susu de womono kra de minim de yen kan kire na wo say na anu MPP for to abe na hwe omo sasa omo sase acrobatics nem ne ade womo e kasa enemate say Abrante El Bernard ono to am so awoso obi aka asem bi a che no na ontia se otia se enye na ono ye reference say I ye ko frɛ no de ne ko easily gone na Bawumia nkrofo and a friend no na dn na say hey El Bernard ma resisted the temptation not to get so hard to that guy but then me share this video no and me use our video me yin Monday me share no pa akwawe na ono kasa kyerɛ nkrofo no say dn Mbabe yes have video na analysis. Ono catch obi say nipa no neni nso ade na omu ade. El Bernard ka ono ni video no mu say nipa minim nipa ko na refer to but El Bernard say nipa ni mu ade ana neni nso ade. Yeah, also when you nso ade. Sana no work fantin. El Bernard Nelson Nation. Who so obi eni nso ade. God damn it. Nyamiam patawa die de be from next week no wo nyamiam patawa adie de be from next week El Bernard you better shut up okay zip this your goddamn stinking mouth shut it up don't be rogue and don't be a fool come on to baby I would say El Bernard so wo hwansu no obi so hwa obi sending fema say me say kwekwana say got the shut up come on to obodampi wate come on to there was a good reason why ever since a movie na nkwasasemu ya wudi na ye movie ye tone it down somebody spoke to me say kweku jano what kind of nonsense now wo face Ghana say nyam kro mesukro enyam mind way and sa on mind way are so stupid foolish nation like Ghana and on penny for are so irresponsible. Your leaders in this country are goddamn stupidly irresponsible. Now El Bernard and the likes of you can get the nerves and the effrontery to be doing all these prophecies. What bodamati? Sanya umanya penny for from the top down without any excuse to an apology to anybody. God damn it. And to move it to me biomano. This your stinking mouth ashen komwa a bodam for you silly sick people. Namode Ghana at to chacha. Enuti na many Abre ora Canada Japan so. Oh yes, it looks as though it's like an unforgiving moment. Of course, because look, all the politicians in Ghana, Canada Japan knows better. He knows better on the faces of what? Some of you, this goddamn bunch of crooks and criminals and rocks. He knows better. So I am so shocked and sad to the core that he could allow himself, to go on the stage and allow some of you to speak the rubbish. Monday, was tape. I picked the tape today. Don't let me use the F word on you. Please shut up wherever you are. That your nonsense. Do you think, sir, if Ghana, by the way, where would the space of some of these masqueraders, but of course, grow. But this kind of self-masquerading prophetic ministry is beginning to take a toll on the whole nation's moral fiber and the religious the religious institutions in this country, and they are quiet. You know, the kind of fear any or how mudiba a fear ahudum. What El Bernard and Komna Ocean, do you know how many hundreds and thousands of people who believe in you? Saudi Arabia, Japan, what did they call Bosch assassins? No one to me for now. Do you know what you've done to many homes in this country? Wouldn't be Wayomo? Oh, Bodam Piwate. Shut up! Don't speak rubbish. To me, Ben Womu. You goddamn asshole. To me, Ben Womu. You have nothing. Only all of you would depend on the, weather forecasters. Okay, guys. Politicians are more memoir. You know more semo. No more soften as the modi account. No, he got that manner singly. You know, he's gradually abra on an answer for Becca. I said, the oh, yeah, and near face or quack or dead you. On cananu to no pe whom we will go anymore say despicably are. My goodness, oh, she says Ghana na moon ferry dear. Ghana and a ferry are parts of your institution. You've institutionalized what? Disgrace and embarrassment. Look at the bunch of annihilation that was bestowed on you, and you still got the nerves. You want to talk? Talk to who? Talk to who in this country? Shut up. Keep quiet. Keep quiet. O Bible na okenkan no. Nyankopon aka na asem wo hodeda. Waka wo hodeda wo. Ah? Ente wo hye nkomi a ambemi. Ede na yesi ede yo. Ede na yesi ede yo. Esi wabo ne yekum. Because sunsum na o hye wo sa ankom no. Wo na wo se se wo hye gamanche hene, wo hye ne nkom. We share President Mahamudu come and the rest and we show them come na we na mbem no nti na engine no gina hemfa kohwe sa engine no show come kohwe na say e was 2 Corinthians chapter 11 verse 14 na hwe so engine ben e wo ho siasa na mu sam fun a mudi Ghana munye manipa nka nkyerem mo asofo ba useless fools and mo asofo te samo mo kra mo si mu bie ma no makasa mo kasa na ebe mu a nti enka ya no ntumu samo kasa ene mmemu a ebebemu a enti enka ya no ntumu ba mo kasa emmemu ntia saa na mo de ye 2024 ene yedi kokko wie muasefo ejimifo the 24 according to where Proverbs 26 ena me de mamo no ma yese mo ya anyansafo enso mo ye muasefo. You fools. Guys, up next, Ghana Speaks proudly brought to you by MCR. Read me. Of course, biogas expert for any push me anadwe na anadwe mami yi bibi nchiro edwuma ayeye unim yesisi dan nko edan ene me mu ba be di edan ho nkomo. Guys, read me and let's get some videos. Edan yo 2026 opedan ato 1 opedan se yensimao ana opese yenye den mawo edan ho nko asem na me no beka opa abrosan te se Tower of Babel yebesi ama we eye dan kese pa yesi wo ebri honom dan we yo fe na wo hwa ahom kan yi dan we yesi wo ebri ho 3 bedrooms fe kama eni yesi wo no Yeah, then we am say ba na akra dey say obi nkrofo magini na as of the last time I count here na just say am say na akase be 4 bi o say dem but when him say bia we Ghana ni wo Ghana opedan bi pa na just say what name na ho adwodwo fefe kama bi no edan bi na me chiro wo hwe be bia ye hwe ya aha the living room ye free living room and ye kosa all the way na ye ko himfa bedrooms ni other rooms na se for e was ro un say balustrade no and e se ho sa de koso fefe kama what yes ni na wo miamia bebre ye wodan bi of course this is the bedroom and then you can see your balcony or also see a very open. Now no BB Sam say gwagu affordable houses na Moses we bring na we say 150,000 and only see 300 so 15 here 15 here so dan asa amanfo abegimani na asa we e wo ho ye science so ACCB wo ho a eno no ubenye bi wo te say for instance spin test sakumono and other places afi so ko for instance East Legon Hills or so ye wo a dan wo ho enem ne ade a yesisi dan fefe bi ni we say we bre 3 bedroom so beautiful so beautiful ne omo kanfo bi timu ho na se o kanchime bi timu ho just mo ho dwomo pa mo ho tomo boni bia ni makwemo kra mesrew se wo Ghana ha ena ebia wakoye obi a wompe edan si biom sese a wesie we kwaku metoi me see me first house we me so no me see dan bia biom the rest nya na ese eto what you say enti me wie na asam me catch am say edan si edwuma wo mu duto edwuma wo mu pa o the very first house me kwaku na me tie me de me nsapa si form say me si no kwaku me nya na easy sir. I tell you guys me nya na easy emu how ni emu atete ni sa mason fo ni enne na hwan na say obia de obia pebia na ka wo of course who here na 70 then now be but from there no I feel because nipa baby ebeda no eye senya kakre bi ni ebedem o kakre bi ni ebedem oh iti enya de se wo ma edan ni sie no ana dan a baby a do tibeto no eye wa dwendwen ana kodanda bebrebe wate ene no de hia ne se wo ne company ne be transidin sa wo so bibi ti say biogas expert for wo ne be transidin sa wo so a ne ya ye bibia kama e de amount ne ya ye nhihye na de ato nhihye a ye de amount no ye de amount say at the end of the day no obeden ubetimi etu na kakra na bibia no aye fine wo de amechire bibia wetu na kakra na yetimi ahwe ede ama na bibia akonenim enti mema enye ade ebe problem ama kra what o ye na sa no ebe boa o ewo akonia sei na so enti the America and say biogas expert engineers yen ya ben papa eba edan sie mu a na winim edan ye sia from the base near the rooftop no so baby say nti edru won so a ho ne ye be ne sen ye be ne titi ade ama o chese yanka sanso ye wo company ye roofing sheet so no nti woni ha wo ye ne ye round up nti ye wo company ho ye roofing sheet na ye company na ba na obebo edan no so e de ama na chese no an wo call baby nti wo de obeya ne say wo ne ba be transfer assign contract no say be ya bibia be deda na kwemu kama ama no wo ba na wa bayi na wenya witness bi aka ho enura say me ma me bia owo London ya ye ne plan ye ne ma bebreu ye ope we say American ye himfa East Legon Hills so East Legon Hills na wo hwe no edan na ye siesi wo no enye dan ba wo kama pa enti ohun say me kan anya group na media na ensase bebrego ebiom so yeton ensase nti asase ben pa na no so wo pe asase ameku akumehwa na yaton ama no mesrew dede sambia ne ho asase bi ma wokoto wie ya pe na yaba nkutukuro ne nsrada nkotima enem ne etuobo aro ni na ka ho no omde begina wo so mesrew yeni sa venesen saad ni bisa ni na no ebebo ama wetimi esiu dan kama ntimi srewa abomoden na fa weni ekire biogas expert for na yentimi yemwa wo be free biogas expert for ye number na egu screen is no wo hwe ne say 055 589 3001 055 583 if I'm right 055 589 3001 and 0546 205377 0546 205377 na bibia ye kama enti se wo pedan na wesi na watene mu a ana so se kwan bia so no ya so yenhwe ne yensi ma won so a obi wo mo ni adaje obi wo mo so a wo kwa kofa mason fo ni hwan won ba be ha wadwene enti wo de wo pese wo de ma responsible organization on betimi esi ama biogas expert for yesidan no enti ya be trase ni yesidan ni na fe britia wakitu ebi ni yesidan na mo we na asembia de na asem ye den e kontimesrew bomodian na fa ye numbers na egu screen so no ne papa mu a screenshot number na save your phone so they hear them no friend o friend me so take note o friend na ama and now be friend obi amfa it means your site into the numbers ni na no e wo ye kan say e wo WhatsApp into for WhatsApp eto so say many esmesi e pacho me be say many mudi nkomo efa project we project de wa wani to edo obi a wa hwe program no say biogas for na ye company of many parts. Maybe a project coordinator, and of course, Juma Yidi no Kojo, project manager. Our sites is Uniada Jukra. This year, there, pressure pioneer. Ye Juma be brave. Make us say Ghana for my contact me. As you could to a Moboho, my own brother, Face Max. I hope the arrangement in Bibia ACCA. I may add my Wednesday, no Bibia better talk. Kamani could to. Boho na mamo boho na wo ho no ti won say wo hwa obe won say ye boho ni be na ye tu wo ho no ye tu ne kama nti wo bia no a wo pe boho no utimi ye dan ekọ na ye tu boho no ama ofefefe ye ni problem me nyina ha enhwe my company ne ye na da no ye be ye dwuma no ya ne kama wate na bibia no akọ adeda na kwan mu great folks. Now, Yemra, politics of today. On politics of today, tonight, we take another critical step in assessing the newly elected flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. We examine his role within the party before, during, and after the 2028 general elections and the enormous responsibility that now rests on his shoulders. Yentra ho makwan ma owura Bawumia ye yini so a candidate nti eno ano no Bawumia afa ne ho adi no kọ no enye sa na agro ne tie sa de na media ewo Ghana the irresponsible side of the media from both radio print electronic and print irresponsible part of the media now the media for na than politicians who are now winning. Your media, journalists, and about significant number of your journalists have 10, are now politicians. Yeah, me na me catch it. MPP time, how many journalists know who am so more into positions? And I winning. Upon Grumani, me no me journalists. Or take Joy from now business and not the end and all the Joy Super Morning Show not there. The way ye na was to inure to the benefits of the party and the all seven. All of them. Yeah. All of them. So, all of them. Until Jumana so mu ye scrutinizing, candidates near do mukosi on. Yeni nemu sa henyu heshi sa sometime na Ghana for no so de na enwa no. Oh, mummy antoma kwekwe ya bawo yeni o muntoma e. Enti de biara no the Ghanaian is always been shortchanged through the media. Ghana is being shortchanged by what? The inability of the media to scrutinize and publish the people now who they are made of. Media need to mean yes, no. Adi Mirika obia pede news and I say news no publish and one way so no another one no into all who view no answer who listen no akwanya ma won't assembly ase any nyoma e hihye politicians no woman sase ne bonini samonini and nyoma woman said akeka nyema bebre. There are many politicians in this country CSC and kan ekrepa wo mu ni akwanya bia se so mo ben Ghana position bia ho na nche woforiata another animal to say ono kenoforiata wono kenoforiata ono sha America memu ha after say wetumi askonda Ghana sika several millions and billions wono kenoforiata sha America memu o sha America memu na sem ni say ono ni pemu no de beba ana wonte o sha ho ebiom Ghana mpanimfo bi mbeka asem bi me entoya soma asem mo kan say anio eye kenoforiata nepe tese wedidi a wame a ono wote wa okise wo sedem tam ono pe no eno opese oba Ghana obeba after say pen oforiata amemwo bi obebuye ema Ghana ma Ghana mpanimfo a ebinim anyi chi kenoforiata omu na yare ewu the death toll no nyasem keto mawu because kenoforiata ni nunu akufuado edwo monsa say ehye Ghana fo ni say like this yeah mamunya asomdwe nanso no mo dada Ghana for eni say sika no a eni hye sika e de akototo ho no mbetwa atro kire say bibi di haircut o say den ebi nsida nanso mu yo mu twa Ghana fo mpenifo ni mesiri wo from including wo mu nua ba eye former events attorney general no wo mu ye nya basa enne ubisa say sika kenoforiata nam ha wa ka o mabegu a John Mahama say oba betu ne saying including the collapse of banks ne yeka say ni data bank adwuma ne transition adwuma then we are the enterprise assurance so adwuma boni bia manakwem boni bia ni nakwem boni bia so manakwem ne yenya a lawyer for bi to say Frank Davis ye nipa owo ya nyansa chen Ghana ni bia one kenoforiata ese kenoforiata entina America ho time open obeba Ghana oba be render the accounts of his stewardship to the people of this country telling us say ono time no wote bank ono na edwuma na no wo ye no na enye edwuma ye for people of this country na mu na ye ono ne private job when we dey on penny for ni bi etimi ye they run this country as if though they were running their own private business. It is sometimes when the media fail to do what is right, this is where they lead all of us to. Well, tonight, Yebeshe, now he holds the fourth. Eye Ora Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. Sesi a osia babium, yebisa se, anso policy ben or the ban. Now no policies in it. Yehuni saying, may you be a chairman. Near say the same policy no deba, and as our policy no deba this time, and Sakraium, then Sakraium crana ebeye saying, Adena and Nedia no deba and one farmer no. From his years as vice president to his emergence as flag bearer, what capital does he carry? What challenges lie ahead? And can he navigate the uphill task of leading his party back to electoral glory in the upcoming contest? Tonight, we break down the strategy, the strength, and of course the weakness, and the road to 2028, plus the fake prophecy syndrome. Tonight, we begin a critical assessment of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, a lingering question surrounding the Boko crisis. Is the perception of his involvement grounded in verifiable facts, or does it remain largely a political narrative shaped by partisan interests, referencing the 16 February report 2025? What's an anamene mo kan semi me buy be kan krat e bi kire mo na ne Alsatian dogs of Bawumia bi did at my friend come up push on many time. Anybody be a war Bawumia come. Don't try so beba abe any platform ya be since I me fan chow sa. Se me se me de be chow na che se unye nipa. Read me well. Se me de be chow wo ye wie na man kasa ho a kwekwa nan ese me nye nipa nti no wan kasa. Ba me kasa ho na se wo ye nipa. Na no so me kasa ho so a de wan kasa wo be to read him. Simon me betra hana me catch them say before the elections the whole party and she share ben na mo share mo ye following your own report mo prepare the buy say yenkenken bi ene kwaku manuwi me be kan bi the kind executive summary no any report any executive summary no so no o kan ya and a chair say aniu the Boko crisis no ade bia affected Ora Bawumia papa na enu na se mutumi kire mu ma Ghana for say affecting wo kwan ben so some mo ka kire wo document we mi say perception in what sense? Behind every perception and here there could be some level of what truth in it. So therefore, if it's perception, question remain. Didn't a perception? Na ne kure se Bawumia etu anamobi ewo boko ensem ni mu ana watimi ya no me be say bi ontimi ya no. But anadwi say a perceptional and your perceptional. There is something I need to put out there for Ghanaians to know. Also, every mekacha say Bawumia aye comment be out there. Or see yes, it drew man prison for a time. Nano can say then. Given the circumstances that Bawumia knows that the top then the the volatile situation and ya dear senen chodidia. Bawumia one person, one individual, and says or then humpu or okobot woman semso. And so Odia group you bit me dear. Oh, inti says I don't know capture when we report in one a debenti and I say moka say perception. A bit my perception and a real fact that you needed to speak and ensure some obey the right thing. And say see I'm open abe say ne obey the president of this country. Into kwa yaku the whole Ghana minim any chieftaincy dispute edi more than a century 100 years and still counting minim. I stand to be corrected. I don't know of the Nkonya Alavanyo crisis minim how many years he did, but I'm not quite sure say any conflict be Ghana any Boku conflict. And this is a terrain your candidate Bawumia hail from, and unfortunately for him also one of the tribes in that crossfire as far as Mamprisi or Onoye Mamprisi ni assembly ni kan say no mo nwie no ho mo dia ne say mo ye yodo ye fa nko oh dede 2028 is just around the corner na mo be dede etuetu Ghana for so na ma convince Ghana for some nkoto aban ye to ma ni wi a ye ni betia ni timpain the whole south ni na is blowing up in arms because Bawumia na president no na ne chita for na ekon sa na mo pe no. Would you say it's still a perception? Let's listen to this man. Near say Bawumia involvement in this is still perception and a perception. Folks, see a video way and listen well. Folks, many means be hard to do than to play this video. Take a lesson.
His Excellency the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, became president, waiting to be sworn in as president. He came with the vice president to the Zugrana Palace. I was there, not that somebody is telling me. And His Excellency the President made a statement very clear. I've just come to greet you and say thank you for what you have done for me. But I want to tell you that as far as Boko chieftaincy is concerned, I'm not interested in anything like that. The only person I know as the Boko Naba is Naba Abugrabo Asigri Azonka II. He said that 3 times. 3. He intentionally repeated it 3 times with his vice president. So what do you want us to give the vice president? Shouldn't the vice president tell his brother that look, don't do that, stop it? The man is the chief. He is the Boko Naba. You can't do anything. Is he saying that you have not heard his boss saying that look, he has been sworn in as president to protect the constitution of Ghana, and therefore the Supreme Court has ruled, and it's his duty to protect the Supreme Court, and therefore the Boko Naba is the Boko Naba. Nobody can contest. Is the vice president saying that you have not heard of that one? If he wants to be stubborn, he can decide to be stubborn and see whether he will become a president of the republic. When you say political interference, because every Ghanaian, we are political animals, you understand that. So definitely, we can know what I can say is that history have it very clearly that anytime the UP tradition, and for that matter the MPP is in power, that is where we have problem in Boko. It means that if there is any political influence that you are talking about, it means that the Mamprisifu people think that they are MPP in Boko. They think that they own MPP in Boko, which is not true. Kusa, who are Kusasi, are double of the vote. And that is very clear because in the Binduru constituency, it's a Kusasi constituency. And people NDC. But yet the MP there is an only one in the whole Upper East. Alright? So if the Kusasi actually don't like MPP, the whole Kusak area will not give MPP one seat. You understand that? And even for the actual for in other areas like Pusiga, the percentage was just the same. You understand? So the performance of MPP in Kusak, I can tell you that it has grown to the level that they have to appreciate that.
Ghanaians, we are.
Listen. What in Sama Papa no Orca? Bawumia nankasa sote ya na note ya uhuni saying. It's the Boko crisis. Enya sama eze mudidi agro. Mede me come ne krana to wa mama. Say be ya etija pain na mu say yes. You catch them because the Ghanaian politicians, you know, are very wicked and you are stupidly dirty and evil. The Ghanaian politician, some of you are stupidly dirty and evil, and because they don't care. Ghanaian politicians, listen to me, say some of them are stupidly dirty and evil. They don't care. So look, they will sacrifice a nation's pride, its citizens, the people, for what? Want of power. And as long as power be do say hallelujah, we okay. Oh, we need power new year. No my or madrin say omo ba no ma be investigate. No mu we my say control white paper report. No mu we no the white paper report na be to am say munyina munkenkai. We are done. This is how this your lunatic, unscrupulous rogues politicians have handled this country for God knows how many years and still counting. They don't have anybody to check them. The media has failed. Tonight, we begin a critical assessment of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. And so there, and you may be a fire no, na fire say rapture no. Yeah, on my way home. Yeah, the problem of the nation and a problem also unto our own selves. So take it from me. Yeah. We are a problem unto the nation and a problem unto our own selves. And so what it means is that by stretch of any you can figure no, a self-inflicted wounds, and we feel like let's inflict ourselves, let's give ourselves affliction, and that affliction, however that is going to destroy us, we don't even care. Asemna ya kanwa ya na MPP phobia be ground no mu ye me say top MPP phone nim say eye asem kese bi na da ho ma mo na asem ni nyam ma yenti e no ma yedi no mti ho. They know the volatile situation of their candidates that change they did be ball means one they know, but o my imagine say yes say ni entase ne te say besini ko ni ahaban na nkato mo hwe ne o matete na basanya sre ni ahwese yemfa yentu. No, they don't care. As long as a candidate in the Babesi Swaya president, we believe is at that time he's the commander-in-chief of the national security. Therefore, I didn't obey me. Moving about me and national security on commander-in-chief, and then I wait me solve Boko crisis. What did your papa ne? Did you hear him? What did your kai? What did your papa no or kai? Hey, and no crown a mobile planchi chrono into perpetual darkness. Namonkoswe. Yet the kakaimo. We are reminding the institutions of this nation. We are reminding everybody until the day in the bebano. Tonight we begin again a critical assessment of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. From the party's grassroots to determine whether there is a genuine trust, belief, faith, and confidence in his candidacy going forward as a leader of the party after his election. Afi yeah says Bawumia bium ewo party grassroots no. Near say party grassroots no so wo hu ni saying. Wo madwen ni saying. Womujini to me saying and on my ready so mona ebituanamo going forward. The party grassroots. Take a listen to this.
And then Bawumia Fuso. Now $14 over 2022. Next I was 17 and I'll do 14-15 and I diffuse. And a dollar at 10.6. Mahamudu petrol so I'm in a boyo whole boyo at on petrol 9.99 and then okay for a top petrol no for me the year pay. Now Bawumia do bad obeka down for petrol obeka down for dollar and then I become found Jimmy and so obeka down for dollar and then I become for petrol welcome Mampusi land go there go to Boko and campaign for your people. They are your own people, they are your own brothers. Go and campaign, go and tell them to vote for you. And if you can't go to your own hometown, no one has to vote for you. No, it's not going to happen that way. Who can they say no need now we cook at him. Only you may be either be alone. I'm no you go for it. But with Vietnam, the man media force carbon at carbon. Solid media for solid, no book at carbon. Also, have a call yourself. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, offer party in Jao, they may be one being young way. I said, what's that? Near quote, you are near Buffy, near Begia footwork. Send a penny at it. That's the work of a statesman. And yet, now, potential pursue the president. Now, pursue the president. Said anything. Ghana for someone. Okay, Ghana saying, nah, MP said, yeah, parliamentary candidates are going now. Obianya vote, Chan. MPs in more local problems in their own constituency. I must say, no, upon all the problems that the MP is having, yes, we like the MP than Dr. Bawumia. One central, Obidu, 13,000. 13,000. Samuel Kua or Deep Bawumia, and one constituency, and you put 3,500 to Obama Samuel Kumu from your almost no, but they have to man, and no much. Why do you want to so impose Bawumia on us? At the partner, any power for there.
From the grassroots, right? It's as to whether the grassroots feels for, well, but Obibeka say early days yet, is it not? So perhaps going forward, the grassroots will line up with him. So but again, we need to express that, and we need to also give, a bite on that. We assess Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia on his policy delivery and his promise to deliver goodwill to the people of this country. What are some of his key policy promises? Yenhwe, some key promises are Odema and Anono. Yenhwe, this time, some key promises are Ebede. We are waiting for it. The key promises are Odema this time. But let's take an introspection, Yenhwe. No. You feel the nostalgia of Bawumia speaking the last time of his policy framework. He was talking to some group of Ghanaians, and the best of policy of ensuring the welfare, the well-being of the people was this Bawumia talking to them that he's going to provide something for them. Take a listen to this.
You may see 8-unit toilets, 4 8-unit toilets, 32 toilets in all among the people of Agudu. Sorry now, Uko toilet, we are Obejari, and yes, Obejari, and you see bath houses, so you see 24-unit bath houses, and 80 in all, 24-unit bath houses. So there, Mubenya, Ebi, Mubeko, Namujari, Anapa, Namujari, you may see 8-unit toilets, 4 8-unit toilets, 32 toilets in all among the people of Agudu. Sorry.
Good. So this was candidates Bawumia then, and also again Vice President of the Republic then. Now, sir, frame, this promise way. Na mentiasie. 32 toilets, so toilet. Why? Toilet. Adeng. And see, we are near San Diaco 2028, and it's us in being more. That's okay. Because a hard journey. Okay. Afiyemra, the current, feud between government and cocoa farmers in this unpleasant situation is really disturbing our cocoa farmers. Atwediye kesiye pa da ho ema ye cocoa farmers ene abenya ote akunyaso. Cocoa cultivation in Ghana started in 1879, as I said earlier. It was introduced by Tete Kwashi, who brought cocoa beans from Fernand Dapo, now part of Guinea, Equatorial Guinea, sorry. Now, if you strike the mathematics, 2026 minus 1879, Ubenya saying your answer would be what? 147 years. Ghana has been what? Cultivating cocoa on the Ghanaian soil. Abraham ye international me catch them. You started a year dear cocoa ewo Ghana no. 1879. And a cocoa you do ra on memo. Nipa ba kope and okofa cocoa ni de buy. You ratete question. A konya papa di cocoa kra ura on memo hakran. And the crown another mystery. No crown so be shada. Ghana ni bi shada no throw book. Show nipa baako akofa ade ti say can say beans betma e dia baw memu ha e dia besha form say bam say Ghana for yenti ni bi ma ya tia edibi ema cocoa beans tete kwahye de baye no wonyankopon nenum nyam ne nadom ne humobro nti odi cocoa ebeye Ghana one of our major export earner ama omen etumi abo ne bra ebesi imprempren yeti anchadin ebiom kanan yesi efre Gold Coast eno chese na wokọ epona no ade kọ mikro mu honom ne ade a be won se gold gugu epona no ho nyina bebre. And it is we are siasa. And to send to Yankopon at this side way my ni bibi say who say a dear no mind see a bit me I am
His Excellency
it me ayade until ya bear crabeshe a biom yes a siasa sensua Ghana tosso Ivory Coast ni dikai yen ye tosso mienu ye kan cocoa yede ko amanone enyam mfaso a yedi mu akotene pa enti chadien ena wonemu a edua cocoa na ma yenye bidia ko amanone no ne yakoton no men enye sika ema wo ministers or high ranking government officials ene wonemu a egu cocoa board hono enye bi no medi ni free no enche cocoa farmers na den na yesi eyo Bibisa MPP NDC Bibisa mo die na mo fi senche cocoa farmers na ese yom dabio enye se cocoa farmers no twa cocoa no akoton na farmers no hoto mu say magana ni bi hunto no dabio the cocoa farmer ne boni a wa ye nyina ne se won mu twa cocoa efuo no ye twa beans no ne di beans no akwamano ne yakoton ne enye sika ne di ahwe o mamu ni na enye o munku ne o ma o dabi ne we bi sample say anso no omumpo ene omoye no omma na kra no omunya sen asemini o MPP ni NDCC ye ni ateche mu cocoa farmers nti ye besi asoe bi a ye fro ho de yan cocoa board ene omudi titine ni bi atena ho ene omo ekeka ka ono nkura batafo ne fence abedi chirefo tete ho ne sikei omu diskapa na yewie nso ne yesi ye cocoa farmers na yenye bibi incentives bi so mfema wom Ebini saying cocoa scholarship near there. Mumme country Ghana for cocoa farmers Ghana. How many of them were more sons and daughters and the families? Etumenya scholarship kwa broche. Monfa lesson mra ni enria de. MPP ni endis monfa lesson mra. You animals, bunch of rocks and foolish people. Look at the deprivation of these farmers in the forest. The deprivation of incentives on our cocoa farmers. 33 years into this your constitution. Boni amudidi farmers no. Obekona cocoa farmers ne to cocoa edda ne nsem say no kuta kotokuro wo bom sa na ebi twa omonsa and all sorts of things. Now what the cocoa board animals muasefo na mudidi noma napa atam cocoa sika na mo de kwama no na mako blow ni na in lifestyle. All right, na mo ye mo lifestyle na cocoa farmers ni go afikra de punishment amode ma cocoa farm. You've released another dogs called what? Called the Abenya, call Galamsey for, and almost say cocoa farm. Yeah. Now, no, some can say, Mitchell, one of my leaders, Juma Odi on my way, and that is Kufo. In the era of Kufo, what he did, he laid red capital for the global in the mining called Newmont. Newmont for walk on the red carpet into the office of Kufo at the time I know Share Castle. Okay? And number two, or say red carpet if that is not enough. He again gave Newmont what? Tax exemptions on all their what? Hardwares and caterpillars and so forth. 3, then he gave them access to where? Ghana's farmlands, where the indigenous are farming cocoa and they are also what? Food umbedi. Ne food umusu air transported the aba other regions me Newmont to call brain Kenya say afo so also me boa koho Newmont training negu in want of what? Gold. That be say so far how many ounces of gold and a Newmont for a 2-3 Ghana assassin so na Ghana ye nyamu percentage saying on say now president bi so ono so was sa gold no e de akọ edwumakuo bi omo land na Jesse, ye the gold new kosia wa na percentage na beba na ye the abo man ho bra only for us to know say no yes ejapade okay ejapade no only to know say no winim set trick o mni say fa na say 5% na eba 5% no wo ankasa da akufuado ene ne links no kind of foriata na mo bedi etu no sana na say iska na o ma che only 1% pe na no fa wo me de koto eye fencing consolidated fund. This is how far the wickedness, the evil nature of your leadership, and they don't even care. Koko Ekuafo has suffered for far too long. Then you go forward now. Into Uja arithmetics now. Send 147. I repeat, 147 for the last 147 what? Years, and that is what? A little above a century. Century be 100 years. Century be 100 years. Millennium 1,000. Meaning say Ghana dria cocoa for 100 years plus, and we ain't making any headway. And I do know for now, I'm quite sure, I have to check, Ghana is gradually depleting from this very arithmetics of whether or not we will continue to maintain the second run-up of exporting of cocoa. Ghana, cocoa is one of our major export earners, but then the question remains, at the end of the year, cocoa farmers near young day. Question remains, what impact has the government made in the lives of cocoa farmers 147 years after cocoa cultivation began in Ghana? Then am I here. The Chinese began importing cocoa beans from Ghana and within a short time modernized their cultivation and harvesting systems with what? With impressive innovation. What about us as Africans, especially considering that cocoa has been cultivated in Ghana for over a century. Chinese for an import it's been how many? Perhaps less than a decade, but take it even a decade out. Yen ye dear cocoa for 100 years plus. Now penny for it to penny toto in toto womutewa. Yeah, but sometimes doctor Mebwana Kwashom Ubeko Cocoa Board one go Professor, Doctor, Emeritus, whatever. Stupid fools, animals in nature. I'm so pissed off. Me cocoa cocoa farmer. No, but we have to fight for this our cocoa farmers for bringing the good image of making Ghana the second largest exporter of this product. And your goddamn animals in this political class continue to destroy this nation in any how they want. Because Mahamudu Cocoa Board and more for fools and animals. Mahamudu Cocoa institutions we deprive these cocoa farmers for God knows how many years, and you don't even care. Scholarship nina more the scholarship na mama party cronies, girlfriends and whatnot, and your family cronies, animals. You think I care? I don't give a hook. I don't give a heck. We are all stakeholders in this country, and with all the the cocoa farmers have also paid. You think they have not? The cocoa farmers have paid their dues. And what do you think you are doing to them? You think they deserve this? Or you think they wash their face upwards? How? MPP and this, you are guilty before the lineup of our cocoa farmers. And you need to bow your head in shame. We are for some of you, move free. University of Mufri Legon Tech, and they said, "Yeah, the Mabeshe post some ministers." Yet, no family be what done in some for years. Ni seminar papa. Yet only come for what? Mufri University a mobile and they said, "Yeah, the Mabeshe shop. When now you CEO of D&D and so forth. Huh? Yeah, the Obia Koshawa. Oh no, ni penny no no cocoa. You want to cry? One bisa say how many of Ghana you can say cocoa farms?" And a one team for even 1 acre. Munkobisa. Go and ask some of your cocoa officers no mugu. If any of them have walked through about 1 to 2 miles of and can feel what it takes to do or to plant cocoa up to its peak, and then we have the Moya muopi. Na ma bodam supi na munyansa. Ate. And a mudi sound kwa siasam no Ghana has say. And the cocoa farm, listen, MPP and NDC, you build this man a single, all the one more power, now the cocoa farmers, and so be a part of Chacha, now mu do atro and throw mu ditch the cocoa farmers, and you don't even care. Fini be ye who metiti mumunti, muni in kakaya, and the moon sorry. You don't even monkoka sorry in show. NDC government, go and say sorry to the cocoa farmers. And they some cocoa farmers, Abraham mobile power. And there are some and I'm catching a cocoa farmers, NDC. Oh, come on, stop this, your useless, dirty politics. That is far outmoded. Munyai, ate. Some politics now move playing. Hey, look, no, enemy say, I'm still emboldened to be this 11th, 12th century politics way, on our faces, and you're even comfortable, you don't even care, you don't even feel ashamed. Cocoa farm, what does an insem? In some na aye blisters, okay? A binimuma omugu homu pensa ike no mpako omunyanko na mono mumma muna mugugu koko institutions wono na etete hemfa wo tete Harvard wo tete Cambridge and other premier universities around the world. Yes, if you hear mrani misa say Ghana cocoa saying chocolate boy saying ochine mu bedi chocolate na mu di a medie festive way and yen can say by as of 24 hours the chocolate in Ghana there's a shortage. Listen to me, Ghanaians. Yen can say there is a shortage of what? Chocolate in Ghana. That's what I'm expecting. The breaking news is this. Let me tell you. Do you know why? There is rather like a shortage of what? Condoms. Any shortage of chocolate? No, chocolate ne buso. Mom, Adia shortage abahon eye condom. Esisiafune dwentifo. Edwentifo abodanfo. Condom wonte konakobisa. That's the breaking news. And you can say chocolate are short to Ghana. Why? Because there's a rush on chocolate. Or Chinobia person on your chocolate bar could not demand the dolphin. Why? A go baby can't afford to mean top. Because chocolate in the boarding. Honey track cocoa beans. Yankupon whom mobile piwate. Onka kaimwate, sobeka kaimodia. Mufwa dishi na moko say ya suit be our mashisha no mujija. Merciful, useless lunatics, and then almost one young summer. Wako University, wako the master. You ain't got shit. You got nothing. You damn fools. Unim nyansa. Someone nyansa. Huh? Me say, someone nyansa. Wait, I'm not insulting, but I'm telling the Ghanaian authorities the real truth. Because someone nyansa, by this time, 147 years down the line, Nesamun to me. And yet then bestowed any innovation and creativity into our sector. Then Kweku, I don't know what to say. If the global south I import cocoa efru memu na uko Chinese na the Chinese kwanya or harvested cocoa in so unique kwanya or faswa or hata cocoa beans kwanya or faswa or yam cocoa beans. Oh hallelujah. Now to say nyankopon ni nyanse mu no Oboni papa, but these people of color are mere blacks. Eye mwase munim nyansa. De omunima die edu omunse dudidi se Jimie akayen. Nyansa eni etrim. De enima ye osaye kosewe, uso kosewe, misumin sewe, es enwa na yediti manim. Osaye syndrome asho man in all the political circles. Bone eni rukafo ashemu ma. Distraction everywhere. Yet they sit down and they glorify God on many a Christian nation. Ochina nyamaya hudu ebekoso. Odie pa mu die nti yesi condom a short. What you say as anything? Chocolate and short too. Name condoms na short too or many. Isi siafu bi se keke. Me cause short break be ba. Afi be real prophet for us as they build up to the Frontline major expose coming. This of course is the Frontline show, of course, your GPS, the Global Public Square. And I'll be back in a very in a jiffy. Stick and stay. Let me try my home run.
Nonsense going on in this country. And we'll be at you.
Guys, give me a break, please. Great. Welcome back to Ghana Speaks Extension. And in this edition tonight, we take a closer look at how certain self-style, self-acclaimed, self-imposed tutorial, fake prophets sought to influence and prosecute the NPP political campaign, particularly in relation to the second run-up in the contest of Kennedy Japan. Ebria yedruswe yembu said the MPP contest na ekoe ene asofo a wo mo gintini pa ye ehye nkoma no dodo na so koma one candidate. First tonight, let's figure this out. Was Kennedy Japan a question ye pa was earlier aware of some of these so-called fake prophets who are the root cause to Ghana's troubles today? And did he foresee any of these unfolding? Yes. So we hear more. Only a shall come more power. But I know maybe some question is answer na onim answer na come she galono and come she galono ebeba ne side no na onim dida say there be asofo bebre ni nukre bebre omo nya ne kwafo omo ya dadafo na onim sa de no ana se onim nso a de toso miensa ohun so say sa de we ebi beba na kwan mu a ma ba hyehyehye ne nkom ne ade so no on one hand unim on one hand unim no problem. But in this case, me bisa say anso na Canada Japan nim say asofo bebre ya dadafo atrofo nabrabafo akotwifo ene wudifo ena wo mte memu wo mo aso ye part of for me your problems. It is no onimu a ene de nti na o ma ho kwan e mo bedi say adwuma we se onimu nso a ene na chese ne kwan so an bana dream yenhwe say yenhwe mfoni we say na onimu a so onimu a nti na o ma kwan e bia na onim for the purpose of clarity. Take a listen to this video.
Nonsense going on in this country, and we'll be at you. Let me declare, say Nipa winning. They are the problem of this country. I have told you several times, say Ghana. You see what is happening today?
The angel said, I should tell you face to face that on the 31st of January 2026 the number you picked during balloting that has made this as your symbol after the election, this will be your position.
Nonsense going on in this country, and we'll be at you. Let me declare, say Nipa winning. They are the problem of this country. I have told you several times, say Ghana. You see what is happening today?
The angel said, I should tell you face to face that on the 31st of January 2026 the number you picked during balloting that has made this as your symbol after the election, this will be your position.
I want to look at it well. I want to figure it so we can all see that yes, he was aware. He was aware of these evil vultures. Yeah. Kennedy Ohene Japan was aware of these evil vultures. So question, why did he allow them to parade, to scatter, to mingle, and to come into his inner closet and eat him up? A renowned pastor has described these prophets as gangsters, likely criticizing their methods and ethics, suggesting they exploit followers, operate without accountability, and create confusion or fear for personal gain. Who is this man? Also for opinions, yes. Or prophet if one, Bebre Omo gangsters so nyame na mekan omo ye gangsters omo kitutu gangsters and omo confusion to Ghana ifie mu bebre Also for Ben our cancer assembly. Take a listen to him.
There are people who claim to prophets who are just gangsters. I'm not saying all of them. I'm saying there are. And when I say they are gangsters, it means that they are just using psychology on people. And they see you and they can do profile you and quickly speak. Those are theatric people. They are, for me, they are harmless. They are the easy ones. I mean, they are survivalists. They want to make a living by human profiling. So he sees a woman, he looks at the woman, she's wearing a ring, he's married, and looking at her age, most women this age, they have marital problems. Their husband is worrying them. Their husband is going for, there's a woman coming into your life trying to separate you from your husband, and your husband's heart is being turned away from you because it's profiling. So those ones, I don't have problem with them. They are just dramatists. They are not, it's not a spiritual thing. They are just doing personal profiling. They are the most harmless ones, and quite a few people are in that trade. But there are others who are not doing theater. They are actually giving real information. And that real information is coming from a different source outside of God. That's the dangerous one. And there are quite a number of that. And if you ask them, where is this coming from? They can't explain. They can't explain where it's coming from. When did you start doing that? They'll say, oh, I've been doing this since I was born. Were you born again when you were born? Oh, this is a gift I have from God. My mother said even when I was a child, I was doing that. Then, was it the Holy Spirit? Because by our understanding, you must have a personal relationship with Christ. Christ must live in your heart. The Holy Spirit must live in your heart before his gifts start operating in your life. So if something else is manifesting in your life outside of Christ, then so you ask me, so when did you start doing that? Oh, since my childhood, since I was born. Even when I was 3 years old, I said that a goat in my family was going to have a child, and the goat got pregnant. My mother said, oh, you are a wonderful child. Now when people start saying that and they can't pinpoint and link,
yeah, what kind of crazy to watch the woman? Yes, sir. Let's again listen to yet another self-styled, self-acclaimed, self-imposed fake one among them, who boldly declared how the margins would look after the delegates' results are announced. Yenti yebeti winso tiasmo kayo. Ono su mayeti aso ono su de coffee. Ono kra dem say no electoral commissioner. Or say ye to abeni we are margin between the two runners no a bear strong kokra. Prophet we na sama waka no. Ono kra dem say no electoral commissioner because I'm so honor no electoral commissioner so honor na wo mu call it figures no. Say no kana some. Take a listen.
Kennedy akompreko ebe win hands down na owini wi a bibi besi wa akiri bibai abusua TV
30th of January and number 12. Listen, K Japan I rather say about when it's straightforward. About when nobody can get it. Men kasa mega honor patuni pardon a good dema. I am not a small prophet. Check me kasa tre safa batubani sa oni pa biala o tie me Ghana. Watch my eyes. I will never lie. Angel 2 never me there. Put my number over there. I have their numbers, but they should call me. And yes sir, Mark, John, Kere Japan MPP and Ojiramano oba chi Bawumia more than there 120 150 oba when it complete. If you're MPP, if you're NDC, listen to me. But when we are saying it shall say offer as well for your deal for bomb payama. I didn't say good so. And son no matter what, and yes, sir, you will get a stroke.
Kennedy akompreko ebe hands down. Na owini wi a bibi besi wa chidi biben abusua TV
30th of January and number 12. Listen, K Japan, I rather say about when it's straightforward. About when nobody can get it. Men kasa, make a honor. Patuni pardon me good dema. I am not a small prophet. Check, make kasa check. Safa batu mani. Sa oni pa biala. Oh, see me Ghana. Watch my eyes. I will never lie. Angel 2 never made there. Put my number over there. I have their numbers, but they should call me. And yes, sir, Ma John Kere Japan MPP and Ojiramano. Oba chi Bawumia more than there 120 150 about when it complete. If you're MPP, if you're NDC, listen to me. But when we are saying it shall say offer as well for your deal for bomb payama. I didn't say good so. And son no matter what, and yes, sir, you will get a stroke.
Your friend is saying, yeah, I don't know his name. But I'll say, I will never lie. And he lied. I will never lie. And he lied. Or say, me near true. And it would be true. Or see the whole Ghana, yeah, the Fahinisene. Don't see one. But she never carry white, no jinaho. I quite we eyes him, my sporting a baby pain. Kasasa Winnie, my dear, it's the weekend Frontline, of course. Yeah, Benny Asos Barim, Ubiso Akasim Jokweku. I tell no my and cut in 70 binams is our Okwado, Meka on. So, a break a canine, let me pause the rest of the videos, and then give you a bite. Now, also can be big crack. Why? And see, maybe be me phone lines, you know, but before maybe a phone lines, you know, let me do this quickly. I deal with quickly. Meet me, I can come on messages. We also quick. Where did Bawumia say that? Meaning the operator or say, give me proof. As also quick, you are not answering the question. Question ben obviously me we say Prince Daniel say good job Convo Face Mac say we accounts also going to bring Kennedy a Japan independent we want to vote for him. All right, on also Nadian Zona we say the base third force party is preparing NPP Apu no egu sana opachire or say MPP egu. Okay, it goes on and on and on. Well, say Kweku, why do you have so much hatred for Bawumia? What has what the chief said got to do with Bawumia? Oh God. Okay. What about those evil hates Ken? Okay. Well, say Bawumia and his evil team hate Kennedy in Japan. Kweku. And all of okay, Kweku, go to your Exposé, your so-called Exposé. Okay, my man, I'll say there is no volatile situation anywhere. Shut up, your mate. Some of the messages are very interesting. Peter Akwesi Lawrence also from USA. The base is coming. Meaning base it goes on and on and on. But quickly, time Mamenfa small minutes in Akano. What do you make of this prophecies ahodwa a course in the just ended MPP delegates elections? 2, the election Nankasansu electing Bawumia. What do you make of it? You can only spend 1 minute and it cannot go more. 1 minute before obe frame so MCR read me obi obe fra on tie me on the phone, no team on the TV mon cutting off me pacho o frame ya. Listen to me through the phone. Main tie me e wo TV no so. U team wo TV no so it will blast here. Emma untimi nkasa. Inti tie me wo phone mu. Inti ube frame ya doom TV set no. Na tie me. Right. Great. On the screen me one number no edas 0302 of course 771593 0302 771593 sharp near the weekend on Nayako. Namako Tomo Valentine is a set of Valentine. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good morning, good evening.
Yes, sir. Take it easy.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ajumada Koni.
It's you.
Mr. Anna.
Yes, sir.
On your main shroud, no sun shroud, Femi and Sam. Onim, Ajuma would you know? Amma, ya who said Christian Cropper, you or master Christianity. Share me, you will Methodist move. And now, my year chorister, our Methodist move. This year's school form for 1969. The whole Ghana, Joa witness of President and Papa Kuma, authority Edako. In fact, me who said if you witness Nipo was come down. Now, more sir, I sorry for the one single person, I sorry for you. Omaba Ghana. Omuno, said now. Say, no best Ghana, no child suffer no best Ghana. We have full of the year, Juma.
Good one.
Who Muslim say was a commander. Now, a couple Amma, must say, I dare to Christianity. When Yamina Juma was no. It has a moment
it has a pa na Ubisunya Binka. All right. Near Fanyaman to say, hello, good evening. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Open Meton Kasana Yanko. Meton, I can hear you. Great.
Good evening.
Yes, sir. Open Casamitio in Temtem. Unfortunately, when to me, so let's pick another one. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, Pachotimenka. Call an Owa Homanas Otimenka. I think honestly I'll drop it. Hello, good evening. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, madam.
Good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, what's a kweku?
Yes, madam.
Yo, na me pese me so me de ma dwen ba program na so.
Good one. I mean to you.
Yeah, me wa program na we no e kama. But anka me so bet activity di no so. Na ma emu ada ho ama ye tie ni ye. Enye sa na ye tie se wudi atama e de na etri ma no so yesua nkwala ehwe bi. Ye pese ye to mo aba. Nti me sro se tete activity ne kakra so. Na program na be kama. Me sro wa. Me sro.
Very well. Your advice.
Okay, that's it.
All right, great one. All right. You better and Wasamaka. Namusumun to Mugana and Penny for Muntu for why? Muntu Ghana and Penny for no Kwaku Manui in Kantum. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Open a meton Kakasamame.
The Jana Miss Midi Kakreba.
All right. Pacho Moano and Kosro Kakramame. So. Anyway, hello, good evening.
Hello.
That's why it's you. Hello, good evening, sir.
Good evening, but me very Kaswa.
Okay.
But me Kasa.
Oh, Kasa Penimetonga. Yan.
Aha. You me Kasa Kaswa na Juma with the idea, we better was senior. We see do Jumano. Na say Ghana for no Yenipa Bebreno. Just you we are seeing Mukeke, yen sheda in politics, and one say ye full. But see, and Muna Mubeka Sama, yes, you don't get Koso. Until Naya knows one and to Baseka Krama and Penny for na Ghana, the say, be Yambompa. Okay, bye bye.
Bye bye. Prayers. Here Baba, Ebabi. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello.
Yes, opening me tone, Kasa. Opening me tone, Kasa. Unfortunately. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Me pacho.
Yeah.
Say Ghana no say na ko so I know the papa I know the. We didn't so one well. Say Ghana no say na ko so. Ya bre papa. Ya bre. If I follow one kind of crunch right. Into ya sorry and here di wachi. Na ye di wachi. No crack e ba ko pe. No crack e ba ko pe. Ye di wachi ka fa so biya di so. O ko be di ma kura di se penyin e wada. Why how found for no dey you crowd found.
Okay, Mami, Yadasipa na Obiso Emra. Why? Your point is well made, of course, so somebody has to speak. All right, hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Oh, all these callers.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, Mami. Kasa Denka Kramani.
Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. Speak louder, please.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, Pacho, good evening.
Good evening, Kasa.
Pacho, nyamin sure program now we know. Nyamin sure.
Thank you.
Hello.
Kasa, Kasa.
Yeah, me say nyamin sure program now we know. Nyamin ya okesi. Why?
Very well, Mami. Me da se pa answer. Why?
Yeah, then pay what I wish you pa.
Amen. Thank you. All right, ma yenshan yemfa. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, sir.
I'm Pacho Medidi Joe because I feel Shama.
All right, Joe, I'm into you.
Me Pacho, Jumana, we know Yadawasi, and India, we are the Bagana. Ya, Yoko, sorry, now, ya need the air cosono. The Medidi black who also, Naya Juma. Atem the deal no except for Mamina best president, I said, who did the atem? No, let me send it to a soft for Nibi. Because one of the Biomater Mudia Quasiana man or Muyanu. Almost say, yeah, your question, your 2 years sick. No mutiti mukamune and for every more fire.
Thank you. All right, we are listening. All shapes of opinion, all welcome. All right, let's pick the last caller. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Last caller. What's the main car? Last caller into me, so. Okay, so I've been instructed.
Hello, fine, da.
Hello. Yanentem.
Dam pacha me tunka.
All right, kasa meet you.
Da nyami shira wo papa. Ewurade nye wo kese. Adwuma wo ye die men da. Na the way asofo ni bunko fafa so eya azan me sere atem die se didi atem no because bible atem didi wo ho it me sere o menti obia wa nyame sere na onye wo kese amen.
All right, so all shapes of opinion and all of that, but may I say this, that we are not here necessarily to insult people. That's not how I was brought up. I was properly well brought up, well cultured. That is not, that's of my beef to insult people. I wasn't trained that way. If your, men in leadership, in the apex of leadership, would take some of us away and do what is right and what is expected of them, again, to ensure that they carry their responsibilities, then I can bet my last coin the media in Ghana won't even get any news to report, because they help us create the news. Alright, so people must get this straight. Kweku will not sit here and just insulting people on the basis of the fact that I don't like somebody's nose or somebody's, mouth. But then sometimes, you see, agrone beshasia, anapanwa muna agroni hu, ni tail no, ne etwekose ya. So, nti yentrasi di as a people and as a nation. Ni bi se ho se agro yedi yemfie dudu osani. The 1992 Constitution edi mfie san. Omainan kasa abonebra ebedru san. Enche Ghana ekosan 70 years. 70 years no unim numerically. Do you know what that stands for? Me say akaya san me Ghana bedi say this 1961. First say 61. How many years near? It's Ghana bedi 70 years. Do you know what the 70 stands for numerically? And what do we have to show? Guys, you debate see as a yankopon yad ma Monday ye bebaso obi force ye say yen hwe expose na se mesra onya de obekire de yenye expose ni de obi kan aprapa womo a expose womo ka ho bi kura no ebinim etwa plane ticket free America bet na ho the office are grouping yedi wa ho. Well, folks, the movie see hana ya sorry so I'm sure say DJ Elastic of course is going to take over your screen in the shortest possible time. Ochina mo Ghana for ene wo me ka ho amudi Valentine mani ade ya we shimu na wa me baby amoko akobutu mini baby akobutu. But what I'm told is condoms are short. It's short. A short will come grow is him the capital here crew. Aha. Inti minim sa na dwi wo be mani be free baby fufu I don't know baby abe mani free mo am be busy ochina no yeah dem ko akwa me clean up in my pen baby ada and am ade but eno me country say don't go and celebrate your way but there me media me you as to say condoms no a short minim baby a wo menye be free. I think it's about 2 decades ago we heard the same news and also adia chen say a short to Ghana Emma womu hwebia womu nya intiminim so ochina na bia binimu mo be pe rubber full sa hwan minim dia mo be yam ho mamenka message or say shame on you fake prophet we also good job kweku fire we also say you are telling them the truth and the truth hurts. I encourage you continue to blah blah continue to insult them. And you tem did you say ye dwuma no but unim kweku ani kwafo a ena unim said ya obrewo ne baby otia na kohwe ne mma ene ne yire wo masitnem adibia me hu some time ago mo be kaya akufo ado abreso na koko kura ni bia hata ne koko beans ewo kwan mu. At that time, Ashanti Regional Minister, your friend is saying, Osei Simon Osei Mensa, na otwem wo ho, na koko ni beans ni wo ho keke. Osei Mensa say mi muni ameti kwa pai. He, wo ye papa ye no, koko beans ni wo hata wo kwan mu keke. Na Osei ene, onse onam kumase onye ni pebia. Osei Mensa onenam ho onye ni pebia. Oye eno betimi akoye koko ni kwafo no betimi akoye no ontimi nya no hwe munya adwensa kyerwate na munka kai mo na munja bonidie. Folks, this has been the weekend Frontline with Kwekwanan. Gauge the space. The biggest expose, of course, would hit the screens. The American say you will call a friend, call a brother, call a sister. Together we sit and talk and make a sense of it all. If you think say Yansha expose and I said there's a reason why Yansha say now to gauge that space. Monday will come your way with another fantastic analysis and then we just make a move out of it. Now, yeah, kakwe nem asofo no nso a monso mugusu amudi bonen mate se emu ba ko a na I know him where say friend Elisha or say Kofi. I'm told, I've not yet confirmed this, I'm told he has passed on. Many of you know him. Was one of those prophets and all of that. Folks, who named down Yankopon Befrewo? Into Mon Commissioner Moshedi Aton Wijaya. This has been the Frontline, of course, your GPS Global Public Square with Kwekwanen and the entire team. My Mama production, of course, Echo Besman was on board, Keynes, online editor, and then, of course, the man himself, the indefatigable, great guy, credible, gave us all the pushes. Joshua, I salute you, bro, wherever you are. And then editors out there, Kofi Ansa, and then Enoch Kofi Ejiri, director of research, Women and the production, Edebai, Kama, and that's it for Enche. Be one say executive producer so no so or fly in between Enche crack. Folks, me see and so say more they be more repeated now. Show we at the YouTube or Ubenya or 2 links so my CTVGH and also the Frontline Ghana Ubenya 2 links. My CTVGH and now say the Frontline Ghana at the hop. Into waiting me or China Saturday. Uni BBI now share call a friend, send it to your brothers and sisters. Our many be particularly more online. Ghana there will be hundreds, thousands will be a show in the TV so, but especially more na more men with TV no. Now so they are more no so share. Maybe come on. My name still remain Kweku and I'm the investigative journalist, the host of this show. Of course, Monday I'll come your way same time, 8:05 p.m. Up next would be DJ Elastic will take over your screens all through till tomorrow. Your Thursday. Bye for now.